Hello. Good evening, everyone. I see we already have a slew of comments here in the chat. I always like to say shout out to people in the chat first before I get started. Oh, Maple Tree. It's so late in my country, but I'm waiting. Always interesting content. Thank you so much. Telma, Kyle just defended Cori Bush. He is always defending his beloved Justice Democrats. Oh boy, we will get into that, Telma. We will get into that. When Sabby did not like the first Kyle F up. So I'm all ears for this one. Shout out Win. Always great to see you. John, wouldn't be shocked if Sanders didn't care to interview with someone whose criticism comes in the form of calling him a cuck. We're going to get into that too. We are really going to dive into that tonight. Ashura, just watch the Kyle. Ashura, the Kyle. I love it. I love it. I love it. Just watch the Kyle. He is literally being Bush's lawyer and handler. LOL. Wow. I'm not surprised, guys. I am not surprised. Hello, Death Leopards. I like that name. Hey, Greg, how are you? What's going on? Monique is in London. Well, hello. How's it going in the UK? Hi, Notori. Love, freaking love you. Love you too. Richie. Can we also talk about Nina applauding support from Bakari sellers? And oh my God, I just saw that, Richie. I literally just saw that while I was eating dinner. We can mention that. We can mention that. I Hello, Deep Moody, Purple Blues. Good day, Sabby and FHL fam. Welcome. I had crock pot lasagna for the first time for dinner, you guys. And I'm one of those people, like, I'm picky about my lasagna. Like, I love lasagna, but I'm like a female version of, well, a female human version of Garfield, the cartoon character. So I love lasagna. So I was like, I don't know, dude. I don't know. And to be honest with you guys, like it was absolutely amazing. I was surprised. I actually think it was better than lasagna in the oven, to be honest with you. Who else do we have in the chat? Hello, Matt. Said, hey, Sabby. Hi, Valerie. Hey, Sabby chatters. See who else we have down in the chat. I just like to give shout outs to people in the beginning. Welcome, Diane. She's a Sabby Sabs member. Hello, my dear friend Sabby. Hello. Who else do we have? Hey, Reef. He said, hey, Sabs, can't wait for the show today. Thank you. Wow. So you guys are ready for this. Mike Leo, Sabby's voice and the voice of the Black left women are the most important right now, especially in responding to Dems' identity politics. Thank you, Mike. I try to do what I can. Hello, Eric. Always a pleasure to see you here. All right, cool. So let's get right into it. Welcome to Sabby Sabs Podcast. I'm your host, Sabrina Salvati. I'd like to remind everybody that Sabby Sabs Podcast is a part of the Fred Hampton Leftist Network. So you can catch me here Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. On Thursdays, you can catch me at the FHL Roundtable at 4 p.m. And you can also catch me there Fridays at 4 p.m. for the Sabby Sabs Show. So welcome all. So I think I should go ahead and start with the story that most of you are probably waiting for. So you guys know last week, I believe it was Friday. Sometimes I get my days confused. Friday, I talked about Crystal Ball's interview with Bernie Sanders and how Bernie was defending Joe Biden. And Crystal did push back on him. But there was something like Jackson Hinkle brought this up, and he has a good point that like Crystal actually kind of was a little too nice with Bernie. Maybe should have pushed back a little more, you know? Um, but I also haven't interviewed Bernie, so I don't know how well I would have done. I'm just gonna be honest with you. But and when I push back, I tend to be kind of mean when I do it. So I don't know if I would have been the right person either to be there. But it is what it is. Oh, just let me check something really quick. Just got to check something on my phone. Once I get more of a routine of doing this, I won't have to be checking stuff on my phone. But I like to check. No, no. Also, shout out to everyone watching on Rockfin. Can't forget about the Rockfin peeps. If you guys who are here, if you are not on Rockfin, I highly recommend you check Rockfin out. You don't have to create a subscription to watch Rockfin anymore. That's a new thing. So now you can just jump right on there, check out all of your greats, all your faves. Franco's on there, Jackson Hinkle's on there, Vanguard. Oh, well, I can't mention that one yet. Someone's going to be here Friday for an announcement about that. And Graham Elwood, Jimmy Dore's on there. Like there's a lot of good people on there. And Rockfin doesn't have ads. So for those of you that hate those ads, I recommend checking out Rockfin. That's where the love is at. Bringing over the love. Oh, and you will hear people be more vocal on Rockfin because I haven't seen anyone get demonetized on Rockfin. So eventually I will get to the point where I can do Rockfin only shows. I just got to find a way to fit it into my schedule where I will talk about things that I probably cannot necessarily talk about on here. Um, Telma, Sabby, do you think Cornel West's speech for Nina was identity politics? He talked like we should vote based on her skin color. I haven't seen his speech yet. I'll have to watch it. I do know that Cornel West has always been, a big supporter of Nina Turner. They both worked with Bernie on his campaign, so there is a special relationship there. But I'll have to actually watch that video first before I comment on it. But back to the whole Kyle story. Shout out to Diane. She is a Sabby Sabs member. This lefty grandmother will be 62 tomorrow. Oh my gosh. Well, happy early birthday, Diane. I had no idea. Everyone give Diane a big happy birthday, early happy birthday. Well, all right. I hope you get to do something fun. My birthday was kind of lame because we were still under restrictions here in Massachusetts. So I didn't go anywhere. There was nowhere for me to really go. So um yes. So back to this whole Bernie Kyle thing. So Crystal had that interview with Bernie on Friday. And I watched that interview or watched that clip, excuse me, and I noticed that Kyle wasn't there, but I didn't think anything of it. I mean, people go on vacation. Sometimes people get sick, stuff like that. So I'm going to show you guys my little thumbnail here. This kind of leads into the story. Excuse my voice. Why? Like, if I want to share something with you guys and it's just a picture, like, why do you got to be like that? Why do you have to be like that? Oh, there it is. Yeah, so hopefully you guys can see the thumbnail. Yeah. So again, like I noticed Kyle wasn't there, but I didn't think much of it. I don't go that deep sometimes. And then over the weekend, somebody sent me something which was very surprising that explains why he wasn't there. And I'm going to show you that. But I wanted to highlight the thumbnail here because I was basically saying like anybody notice Kyle wasn't there? What happened? Let me stop sharing. So, I'm going to show you what was sent to me. And before I go into this message here, I do want to just start off by saying that I am not here defending Kyle. I've been very critical of Kyle, especially in reference to him defending the squad every chance that he gets, even when they're blatantly wrong, in reference to some of his takes on racial issues. I've been pretty vocal about that. Just is what it is. That being said, there was something that happened here that I just feel was like really, really dirty and low. So let me share my screen with you. Share my screen. Oh, balls. I forgot. I got to put that thing up there. I don't even know if I can say balls on here, but I already just said it twice. So there we go. I guess I'll find out. We are going to window. All right. Oh, over the weekend, someone sent this to me via DM. I'm not going to mention their name because I don't know if they want to be put on blast like that. But basically, what this is text from the Crystal, Kyle, and Friends episode where Crystal was interviewing Bernie Sanders. This person basically screenshot this, sent it to other people, and eventually it made its way to me. So I'm going to read this because this is really interesting, you guys. So what it says is, I'm watching the newly released Crystal, Kyle, and Friends with Bernie. OMG, a quote. Now, this is from Kyle. This episode is a little bit bittersweet for me. I love the fact that you, Crystal, got to talk to Bernie, and I have full faith and confidence in your abilities. I know you're going to do an amazing job, but I'm not in this interview. No, obviously. And there's a reason why I'm not in this interview. Wait for it, guys. Here it comes. Here it comes. They reached out to you and basically said, yeah, we'll do an interview under the condition it's only you. Am I butthurt over that? Yes, I'm very butthurt over that. I supported Bernie more than anybody in 2016, more than anybody in 2020. I got him on Joe Rogan. I'm the one who set all that up. So to sort of be thrown under the bus in a way, dot, dot, dot. By the way, you guys ever notice some people overuse the three dots? You guys ever notice that sometimes people just put it in places that it doesn't need to really go? I was an English major, you guys, so I'm just critical of this kind of stuff. But anyway, for him to just be like, I'm going to kick you off your own show, that stung. I didn't like that. Maybe it's because I called him a cuck repeatedly. If he saw that, question mark, but I kind of doubt he saw that. Okay, let me pop out. I'm already laughing at the comments in the chat. So I have a couple of things to say about that text. First things first, the fact that Bernie walked onto someone else's show and said, or maybe it didn't come from him exactly, but probably from his assistant or his camp. And they basically came onto someone else's show and said, we will do the interview for you, but so and so can't be there. The balls. Now, I said balls 3 times now, 4 times. The nerve. How do you come on someone else's show and tell them who and who can't be there? So that's the first problem that I have with that. The second problem that I have with that is this. Crystal ball. Let me switch gears here. Let me put myself in Crystal's shoes. Let me tell you how I would have handled this situation, because I don't care how big of a person you are. I don't care how large your platform is. I don't care how famous you are. I'm just going to be real with you regardless. If it were me and Bernie's camp came to me and said, "Hey, Sabby, we know you're a part of FHL. We want to do the interview, but we're not going to do it if a Finney is there. We're not going to do it if Nick is there with you." You know what my response would have been? "Thank you for your time, but unfortunately, we will not be moving forward with this interview. I wish you all the best." That would have been my response. You know why? Because at FHL, we're a team. We work together. We work with each other. I'm not going to push my teammate to the side, my partners to the side, just so I can score an interview. That's just me personally. And again, I'm not defending Kyle here, but I feel like Crystal got a little bit of a fault in this too. Because at that point, I felt like that was kind of selfish. It really did. It was weird. That really don't make no sense to me. Just is what it is. But that's me. That's how I would have handled that situation. But again, I'm not afraid to stand up to people. I don't care if it was Bernie Sanders. I don't care if it was the president, if it was Joe Biden. I don't care. I'm not going to ditch my teammates just so I can say I got this interview. That's not cool, man. That's not cool. That just comes across as shady to me. And that tells me who's running things over at Crystal Kyle and Friends. That tells you right there who's calling the shots. It definitely isn't Kyle. So that's my take on that part. Now, in reference to Kyle's comments that he mentioned about calling Bernie a cuck and whatever, all that kind of stuff, it seems to me like Kyle is being a little bit naive here, because he said at the end he called Bernie a cuck, but he doesn't think that he saw that. Dude, anything that you put on any type of media, whether it's Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, even on your own show, whatever you say can get back to that person. That's why anything I say on here, it's something that I wouldn't mind saying to that person myself. I have no problem saying it to them myself. I'm not going to say something on here that I want to be kept secret. Does that make sense? Right? Same thing with Twitter. I tell people this all the time, man, all the time. People tweet stuff, they put things out there, and they forgot they sent that tweet. And then that tweet comes back to haunt them a couple months later, a couple days later, sometimes years, because people go back that far sometimes. So that's my take on that. So I feel like Kyle was being naive in assuming that Bernie wouldn't have known about that. Dude, we live in the digital age. If I want to find something about people and you're on social media, I can find it if I really dig for it. I can find it. So that's my opinion on that comment that he made about I guess he would be surprised if Bernie knew about it. Um, but the other thing that I have an issue with is the fact that he goes on to say that he believes in her abilities, but obviously he says, "I'm not in this interview. And I supported Bernie the most. And I did all this stuff for Bernie's campaign." And I will say this again, not defending Kyle, but I will say there are a lot of people that I know that had they not watched Secular Talk, they would not have been pulled over to the Bernie side. I will say that. Now, I told you guys this before. I haven't watched Secular Talk in like a year. I have my own reasons for that. But every now and then people will send me things from that show. And that's usually when you'll see me comment about it on my show. That being said, when it came to the Bernie thing, Kyle really did, really, really did a lot of like support for Bernie. Like he did talk about that a lot. Now, the whole Joe Rogan thing, I don't know about that. Um, I'm guessing that's true. I don't know. But my whole thing is that to say that on that video, the statement that Kyle gave on that video, I feel like Kyle didn't learn from that video that he made about Jimmy and TYT. Again, why are you reaching out to your friends in such a way that seems insincere and doesn't seem to be personal? If I was going to have that conversation with Crystal, I would just pick up the phone and call her and have that conversation over the phone or via text. But again, I feel like Kyle didn't learn his lesson from when he made that video saying that thing about Jimmy, like inappropriate, that inappropriate word that offended him so much based on a lot of the things that he said about people over the past couple of years was really funny to me. But it's just interesting to me that he is still doing it. He's still doing it. If I want to talk to my friends, I can just pick up the phone and talk to my friends. What I'm not going to do is I'm not going to make a video about them complaining about it. I'm not going to get onto the video and write in the comments, I'm not in this interview, da 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 da. I mean, that doesn't make any sense. If you're friends with these people, why are you going to this level? Why? Thanks so much for the super chat, Dick. Corrupt 200K pack, Crystal and Kukinski are throwing each other under the bus. That's what happens when you don't have any principles and are opportunists. Wow. Thank you so much for that. I think I missed another super chat, so I'm just going to go to that really quick. Let me go down. Wow, there's a lot of comments. Where's that other super chat? Give me just a second, guys. I just saw it. There it is. JC Polex is a Sabby Sabs member. Thank you so much. I am so happy I found your channel. I'm happy you found me too. I'm not easy to find, but people are finding me a lot more now. Recently, actually. Ashura said, "Oh, come on. Does he not think Bernie or a member of his team wouldn't have seen those videos? Dumbest SHIT. Sorry, YouTube censorship. I've ever heard. Dude is effing naive. Unbelievable. Yo, so this is what I'm saying. Like, how could you think that there's no possibility that he wouldn't have seen or heard that? What world are we living in? Are you kidding me? People find everything. People find everything. Oh my God. So that's really interesting. I'm going to go to some of the other comments. I know I missed a couple. The King said, I'm glad Jimmy called him out today. Oh, I'll have to see that. I'll have to see it, the King. Eric Thomas said most men are socially challenged. Is that true? Guys, men in the chat, is it true? I'm gonna wait for that one. We gotta see. But yeah, so it I don't I just don't understand that at all. Um, but like I said, the fact that Crystal went along with that, and you know what I was just thinking? Oh my God, I just thought about something. Does that mean that he didn't know that Bernie wasn't coming on the show until he saw the interview? Or did he find out like right before? Because don't they have to travel for that show? Because didn't he say he has to travel for that show? What kind of friends are these? What kind of friends are these, you guys? Do you guys have friends like this? Think about, like, oh, dude, this is like karma, like to the next level. Because remember, Jimmy said that Crystal and Kyle They ghosted him. Remember, he was supposed to go on their show. He was waiting for them. They didn't say anything. Then he got like this text message like hours later saying that they decided not to have him on hours after he was supposed to be on their show. So it's almost like, in a way, it's almost like karma came back full circle, and now Kyle is the one that was ghosted. Only this time he was ghosted by Crystal, the person who was his partner in the ghosting. So Crystal ghosted him. So you know what's really interesting here? When you go back to that whole like the whole like, video back and forth between like Jimmy and Kyle and the whole TYT issue with Aaron Matei and all that stuff, you know who the one person was that managed to not get pulled into it, kept their mouth shut, just sat in the background, just let it ride? Crystal. Crystal let Kyle take all the heat, and she just sat in the background. And you see who gets the interview with Bernie? Crystal. Past couple months not looking out too good for Kyle. I mean, it's just, I want you guys to think about this. Let me tell you something. Women, we can be, let me, women as a woman, when we want to make things work in a way, when we go out for it, when we go out and fight for it, we can get it done. It's a culturation. Thanks so much for the super chat. YouTube women are slick like that, though. Okay, so you see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? Like, guys, pay attention here. Notice how at the end of the day, Crystal managed to keep herself out of all of that, all of it, all of it. She let Kyle take the heat. He defended her. And then she turns around and ghosts him with the Bernie interview. Kyle went out there, got on camera, defending her, saying all this stuff. And by the way, Crystal feels this way too. And then when someone that Kyle obviously really, really admires comes onto their show, and this is an opportunity to interview Bernie, she ghosts him. Watch out for that one. Watch out for that one. Watch out for, this is one of the reasons why growing up, I said this before, I always got along better with guys than girls when I was growing up. For the longest reason, I didn't understand why, because I really wanted to have more like girlfriends. But man, sometimes I think I lucked out, because this type of like vicious, like cattiness, this is brutal. So if I was Kyle, I wouldn't have put that stuff in the comments at all. I would have just picked up the phone and said, "Hey, why did you do that? Why didn't you stand up for me? Why didn't you just say, "Listen, I'm not going to do this interview without him, without me, because we're a team. The show is Crystal, Kyle, and Friends. The show is not Crystal and Friends." Or is it? You got to watch people, man. You got to watch people. Let me tell you something. If you let people take advantage of you, they will. Shout out to Thomas. I just unsubbed from Kyle, David Dole, David Packman, TYT, and Majority Report for not talking about line 3. TY. Oh, thank you for good content. Welcome, Thomas, and thank you so much for the super chat. So yeah, that's my take on that, you guys. Again, you know, my dad used to have this saying that, like, sometimes people that are really book smart, have you guys ever noticed this? Like sometimes people that are like really book smart, they sometimes lack common sense. It's like when it comes to simple things that you should obviously know, they don't seem to know. And I feel like that's how it is with this situation. Like anybody else, I feel like could sit back and see like if I was Kyle, like I would automatically know, dude, why did you play me like that? Why'd you do me like that? That's really messed up. I would also know that that means that that person is looking out for their self and they're looking out for their career. And I would also know at that moment, we are no longer a team. It's you and it's always been you. And maybe, just maybe, you were trying to use me. Lessons learned. Go into the chat. Casey McIver, all the damn time. Your dad is right, Sabby. That's what my dad used to say, man. He used to tell me that all the time. Like, some people just don't. When it come to that, they just Neymar, yes, Sabrina, when you lack real life experiences, you can never fathom the urgency of one's disparity. Telling you, dude, man. I just hate, and like I said, I am not, I've been critical of Kyle. I don't think people should cancel him just because I've been critical of him. But I just feel like people know who they can use. People know who they can walk over. People know who they can get over on. And as long as you let them continue to do it, they will play you and play you and play you, get what they want. And then when they don't need you anymore, they kick you to the curb. And I'm not saying that's going to happen. Just want to put that out there. But I have experience with people like that, man. And I know how they can be. Greg said, if you're going to criticize someone you might want to interview in the future, you should do it without ad hominem bro culture language. Well, there's that too. Because sometimes people think that they can say all this stuff about people, and then later on, they'll be like, hey, I want to interview that person. Can you come on my show? And then not thinking about the fact that they said all this stuff about them on their show or on social media. It's a mess. It's a mess. Phenomenal mysticism. Crystal Ball is just heartless and Kyle is stupid. Damn. Well, you didn't hear it from me. Thanks for the super chat, Christopher Neal. Perhaps Kyle is the true cuck. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say, man. Church of the Evil. I swear I thought Kyle said positive things about Jill Stein years ago. Does anyone else remember that? That is interesting. Leslie, welcome. Always a pleasure to see you. Leslie says, LOL. All right. I have another story for you. I don't want to spend too much time on this. Next thing you know, someone else will make a video that says, Sabby destroys so and so. And I don't. But let's see. Lila Catherine, who is a Sabby Sabs member, Lila says he voted for her. So there you go. Thanks so much for the super chat, Finn Shopes. Jimmy greater than Kyle. I will not disagree with you there, Finn. I will not disagree with you. Okay. YouTube Mui? YouTube Mui. I don't know. Said, am I missing something? God, my voice tonight. Am I missing something? Kyle and Crystal had this conversation at the beginning of their podcast before the interview. I don't know. I don't know if this conversation happened beforehand. All I know is someone sent me that. They said that was in the chat of the video. So I don't know. I don't watch the show. Let's see. When? What? You sound like me when I just puffed. What? When? I didn't know you. I didn't. Oh, when? I didn't know. I did not know. Luke said maybe Kyle should have used his crystal ball and he would have seen it coming. Oh, damn, Luke. That's brutal. That's brutal. Ashura, the next hater video is Sabby is a racist because she talked about Kyle and laughed. LOL. Oh my God. Yes. Yes. People will say these things, man. Anytime I bring up like being black or what it's like to be black, or anytime I criticize someone that is not black, all of a sudden Sabby is racist. I'm like, whatever, dude. You really don't know me. Really don't. Shout out to Lila. She's a Sabby Sabs member. She said, ha. Church of Evil. Thanks so much for the super sticker. I got to go on to my second story tonight, which is about Cori Bush. And I know some of you have probably seen this on Twitter. Yeah. So Cori Bush. So you know that her and other members of the squad have been protesting outside of the Capitol building. They have been sleeping on the steps of the Capitol building. And it is in response to the eviction moratorium. And I got to say, okay, I feel a certain way about this. I'm going to get into that part in a second. But first, I want to show you what she said about force the vote. So let me share my screen because Max Blumenthal interviewed her at the Capitol. And Max was asking her about force the vote. Now listen to what she said, because I know some of you are going to be like, no, she did not. Let me pull this up. And there's another video I'm going to show you too, because Franco from Frank Analysis was also at the Capitol, and he actually was trying to ask AOC the same question. So let me go on. Doobie 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 doo up. Share screen. Share audio. Share. All right, let me pull this up. So this was Max Blumenthal. So Max Blumenthal said an intense argument broke out last night. Let me make sure you guys can see that. Yeah, you can. At the Capitol between activists and members of the squad on their refusal to directly confront Pelosi. I asked Representative Cori Bush about the exchange and why the squad didn't use its leverage to force the vote on Medicare for all. Her staff shut me down ASAP. All right, I am going to play this lovely video for you.
For tonight, and I really would love to keep the conversation.
Sorry. Hold on. Make sure my volume is up.
That's where we are.
And I heard, like last night, there was a lot less people. It's great to see so many more people, but I heard there was an intense debate about the role of the squad and why the squad didn't leverage its vote for the speaker for Medicare for all vote, and why the squad, I mean, with the margin so narrow in Congress, why the squad didn't
yes, because
leverage its vote on the stimulus to get a $15 minimum wage. What?
No. So first, one thing that was said last night, which is something that's very true, and I wish we would have talked about that this was where your conversation was going, because we're talking about the rally for tonight. And I really would love to keep the conversation on what's happening.
I feel like it's all related to healthcare and the.
It absolutely is. But this is the thing. What was said last night is that this bill, Medicare for All, is not, there's no person on the squad whose bill that is. That is Bernie Sanders' bill in the Senate. It is Pramila Jayapal's bill in the House. It is not our bill. We cannot make that bill come to the floor. There is nothing that we can do legally to get the bill to the floor. We have.
But Pelosi could have brought the bill to the floor.
We're good here. Thank you.
What Well,
I'm sorry, Max. We're fine at this.
Why can't she answer the question?
We're here to talk about the eviction.
But I feel like it's all about healthcare.
Thank you.
No, really appreciate that.
Really appreciate your
We're here
time.
for
Thank
we're
you.
here for a reason. It's about the moratorium.
Well,
Thank you so much.
why is that? I can't ask about Medicare for all.
The congresswoman has slept 1 hour. She's done a lot of labor.
Okay, I'm trying to get
respect your
people
work.
out here
I
too.
respect your
I'm
work.
trying to do the same thing you all are
Wonderful.
doing.
Thank you for being here.
But why
Appreciate
can't
you.
she could just answer it and then I go away? I'm not trying to like
Thank you.
attack her or
Thank you.
anything.
So
I'm not
we're
trying
happy
to
give you a
smear her.
contact. We're happy to give you a contact and you can reach
But
out.
why is that
Thank
issue,
you.
the Medicare for all vote, so like she was
No,
wrapping
I'm
up
not
her,
having this conversation
but she was
with you.
wrapping
I'm
up her.
happy to give you-
I know she was
I'm happy-
wrapping up
I'm
her
happy to-
answer. Then
I'm
I was
happy
going to
to-
say thank you.
No,
Everybody come out.
Thank you. I appreciate
But why
that.
didn't you let her just wrap up her
I
answer?
really appreciate you. We're happy to give you a contact. You can feel free to reach out. Thanks so much.
All right, thanks.
Poor Max. So I have a couple things to say, you guys. Oh my god, where do I begin? Where do I begin? It drives me crazy. It drives me crazy what I just heard. Like that is crazy. So let me ask you guys a question. Did you know that you're only supposed to fight for a bill if you wrote the bill? Did you guys know that? Cori Bush said that's Bernie Sanders' bill. That's Premier Jayapal's bill. That's why they decided not to fight. She said, listen to what she said. There's nothing we can do. We can't bring it to the floor. And notice how as soon as Max said, but Nancy Pelosi could, notice how quickly her entourage was like, okay, time to go. Let's escort her away. Time to go. So you're only going to fight for something if you wrote the bill? Because when people were saying to force the vote, we weren't asking the squad. We knew the squad could not bring the bill to the floor. We knew that. Duh. I mean, come on. We were asking you to hold your vote for Nancy Pelosi. That's what we were asking you to do. And that's something that they could have done. Don't you guys think that was really funny when her entourage was like, I don't know dude's name, so I'm just saying entourage. When her entourage was like, she's only had 1 hour sleep. Well, why is it that Cori Bush only having 1 hour sleep was only problematic when he asked her about force the vote? Because when she was talking about the eviction moratorium and why they were there at the Capitol protesting, all of a sudden her 1 hour of sleep didn't matter. Her 1 hour of sleep only mattered when he was questioning her about force the vote. I'm going to come back to something else on that, but I see I have a super chat, so I am going to that. Les Albro, thank you for the super chat. But the difference here is that talking about this makes me look bad, Cori Bush. It is one of those things that you have to ask yourself. And look, this one, I think, hit me harder. I think if anyone else on the squad would have responded that way, I don't think it would have upset me as much because I expected more. But from Cori Bush, I felt like out of everybody in the squad, she was supposed to be the one that was really like, okay, now I'm in. I'm really going to make change here. Because Cori Bush knows what it's like to be homeless. Cori Bush knows what it's like to not have health insurance. Cori Bush was a COVID survivor. She survived cancer. She was a nurse. She's been through a lot. Like she knew what all these things were like. She knew what it was like to be a single mom. So she was really supposed to be the one that was really going to come in and drive it home. Why they didn't let her finish speaking? Now, granted, she could have pushed through if she wanted to, but why they cut her off right when he was asking about force the vote? Why? John, thank you for the super chat. Clearly a photo op for Cori and AOC. I wouldn't be surprised if this is just used as proof of fighting in 2022 during re-election year. Well, there you go. There you go. Listen, I think I'll have to double check this, but I believe they only have to serve 5 years to get the pension. Someone check me on that. I believe it's only 5 years before they're eligible for the pension. Why did she say that? That I don't get it here. I don't get it here. You ran on Medicare for all. All of them ran on Medicare for all. To get in front of the camera and say, "Oh, well, that's Bernie's bill." What were you telling us all this time you were running? You knew it was Bernie's bill back then. This is where we're at now. This is where we're at now. Now people are pushing things to the side. It's like, "Oh, that's not my issue. That's so-and-so's issue. That's so-and-so's bill. I have nothing to do with that." That's not why we put you there. Till this day, they still don't want to answer that question. They still don't want to answer that question. Why didn't you do it? Why didn't you hold your vote for Nancy Pelosi? Why? What did you guys get out of voting for Nancy Pelosi? Did she make some kind of backroom deal with you guys? What did you get? Because I remember AOC was trying to get on a committee, didn't even get on the committee. So in the end, what did you get? Shout out to B Feeder. He's a Sabby Sabs member. 5 is what I've heard. Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought it was only 5 years and then you're eligible for the pension. James Root, they aren't paid to answer that. Sorry. Eric Thomas, they don't work for us. No, they don't. And I want to remind everybody that politicians are public servants. They're supposed to serve the people, not corporations. But we see what they do. Oh, shoot. I think Discord is on in the background. Why did that happen? Okay, maybe you guys can't hear it. Yeah. But she wasn't the only one. She actually did speak and answer about why they didn't force the vote. We got the answer right there, you guys. But there was one person in particular who literally ran away. They ran away from the question. I'm going to show you that video. Cool Blue, thanks for the super chat. Democrats, especially after elected or re-elected, show us they are cons. Dude, they just want that money and they out. They get that money and they were like, we're for the people. We're for the working class. Blue Moon Red Wine, hello. It's the rotating villain. The goal is to get reelected in your district by the single issue voters while doing nothing for other districts, which ensures that other reps will do nothing for yours. Shout out to Blue Moon Red Wine. You guys should definitely check out her channel if you have not done so. She was on with me a couple nights ago, and we talked about our disappointments with Justice Democrats, with the squad. But let me show you the video of the one who ran away. Now, this one is funny. I'm not going to lie. I laughed at first. And then, I came back and I was like, oh my God, poor Franco. So Franco from Frank Analysis was also at the Capitol. And he was trying to interview AOC. And he was trying to ask her the same question about force the vote. So let me share my screen. I should have it already queued up in the spot I need it in. And I do. All right. Now this is Franco And he's trying to ask AOC about force the vote.
AOC, is it okay if I get like a question or two? Question two, what's the next steps? What are you guys going to do to pressure your colleagues? How are you going to pressure your colleagues? Why are you guys doing this last minute? Why weren't you guys doing this for months? Wow.
I'm gonna stop sharing there. So Franco has a couple of videos like on his channel of his experience at the Capitol for the protest. But that brings me to my next point. So you saw how she's running away, like, I'm out of here. You know what's funny? And I'm gonna get to the super chats in just a second. It was left independent media that put AOC in office. Indie media put AOC on the map. She came on Jimmy Dore's show. She was on TYT. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. That's probably a bad example. But anyway, you get where I'm coming from. She was part of Justice Democrats. Obviously, Secular Talk. They talked about like AOC. Like it was independent media that put her on the map. I didn't even know who AOC was in mainstream media. Like watching mainstream media, I didn't even know who she was. I found out who she was and left independent media. But who does she run away from? When's the last time you saw her come on these shows? She running away from Franco. When is the last time? Someone let me know. Feel free to put it in the comments. When's the last time you saw AOC on left independent media? And I don't know if you guys consider Democracy Now! Left indie media anymore. You might. But I know some people told me they don't feel that way anymore. Going to some of the comments. Diane, she's a Sabby Sabs member. She said 5 yes, Sabby, pension and speeches and books. Yes. So all they need is 5 years, guys. And they get the pension and the books and the speeches. That's what I'm telling you. That's the goal. Let me just stay in for 5 years. All right. Want to go to some of the super chats really quick. And then I'm going to go back to what Franco was talking about at the end of his video. All right. Shout out to Cool Blue. Thanks for the super chat. Democrats especially. Oh, wait. Nope. Sorry, I did that one already. Sorry, Cool Blue. Okay, here we go. Dick Long. Do you know when a politician is lying? The second they open their mouth. Wow. Thanks so much for the super chat, Dick. I just realized what your name really means. Oh, you were trying to get me to say the whole thing, weren't you? Thanks for the Thanks for the super chat. War Deer Entertainment. Cori's crew and all the other squad folks are trying to paint people questioning them as violent or fascist, etc. Make us look crazy while they pretend to be the adults. That's an old trick too, by the way. The person that's asking you the questions that you really need to answer, they're the ones that are crazy. They're problematic. They're being vicious. I think I got all the super chats. Hope I didn't miss. Okay, yeah. So I do want to mention Franco was talking about the end. He said, why are you guys just doing this now? You heard him? He said, why didn't you guys do this months ago? Why are you just doing this now? And that is a good question. Because, guys, in reference to this eviction moratorium, they knew this date was coming. It's not like they just found out the day before everybody went on vacation. They knew this date was coming. So if I'm being logical here, why would I wait until everybody at Congress has pieced the fuck out, gone home on a 6-week break, and then decide to protest. Why would you wait until they all leave and then say, hey, let's do this thing? And so someone was interviewing AOC and she was saying that, like, well, we were planning to do this, and then the next thing we knew, everybody was gone. What do you mean the next thing you knew? You don't know when your recess is? Well, what are you talking about? You knew this day was coming. If you guys really wanted to make a big impact with this, why didn't you do this push before everybody was sent home for recess? Why did you decide to protest and to sleep on the steps of the Capitol after all your peeps were gone? Why didn't you do that when they were all still in session? And that is why people like Franco mentioned in that video, and other people, that's why they think it's a photo op. That's why some people are saying it's just what's the word? Performative. That's why some people are saying that they're not being sincere. They're just doing it for clicks or views or whatever. Because that's true. Why would you do that? Why would you procrastinate and wait that long to finally say something about it? That doesn't make any sense. You right there. You work right there. Why would you wait? Can someone help me out with this in the comments? Someone help me out. Someone give me a good reason to wait that long, to wait till they're already gone. Thanks so much for the super chat, Cool Blue. Thank goodness for Force the Vote. People revealed themselves. It's not for FTV. If not for FTV, AOC and the rest of the squad would still be wearing her mask. Well said. Well said. Eric Thomas said they were very busy with January 6th commission. Oh my God. Look. Do you guys know that, like, CNN, MSNBC, and Nancy Pelosi, of course, they're still talking about January 6th. Dude, it's July. Actually, no, it's August now. It's August 2nd. You know what they should be talking about? These evictions that are about to happen. Someone messaged me earlier and said that Nancy Pelosi is now trying to put pressure on Biden to do something about the eviction moratorium, to extend it. That's what I was messaged earlier. But again, like, Pelosi, why didn't you do that earlier on? You knew this day was coming too. Why did you wait until, this is just hilarious to me. Like, why did you wait until you left and then, okay, the squad is protesting outside the Capitol building and sleeping there and spending the night. So let me put pressure on Biden now to extend no. You guys know this is for show, right? You know this is a setup, right? Mr. Super Chat, let me see. These people don't care, man. Sean, thanks so much for the super chat. When the cat's away, Pelosi, the mice will play. Squad, all performative. Yeah, anybody think that this is a little strange? See, sometimes I like to think very deeply. Very deeply. I was an English major. I read a lot of books. And I like to write. So sometimes my mind can go there. Let me tell you how I see this. If I was going to try to convince a lot of people on the left that the Democratic Party is still valuable for them and I still want them to vote Democrats, I would I don't know, cook up a plan like this. Let's have the squad protest outside the Capitol building for the eviction moratorium. Now, remember, AOC had mentioned that they had planned to do it. And if they had planned to do it, that tells me that 9 times out of 10, Pelosi knew they were going to do it anyway. Just keep that in the back of your head for a minute. So they protest. Let's have them do that. And then, boom, me, Mama Bear, Pelosi, I react to their protest. I contact Biden and put pressure on him. And that is how you get people on the left to think that the Democratic Party is still on their side and is still trying to do something. This is a game. I don't understand it. I don't understand these people. Sometimes I feel like I'm in an episode of The Twilight Zone. Ever since Biden won, I entered the fifth dimension. Super chats. I know I just missed it. Oh, there it goes. Jimmy Dore. Everyone knew this was coming. Tired of Democrats acting like they don't know how stuff works. That's not Jimmy Dore, by the way. That's someone. Jimmy Dore has his face on it. But thank you to the other Jimmy Dore. Thank you for the super chat. Yeah, man. I'm telling you guys, but you guys get what I'm saying? Like, that's the perfect scheme right there. And make it look like the Democrats are doing something. So people on the left who have turned away from the squad, we will now change our minds and say, see, the squad really did do something. I should have been a private detective. My mom told me that. She said, look, if this gig don't work out, if this gig doesn't work out, you should be a private detective or private investigator. That's what she used to tell me. What is that? Michael Brown? That's Demi Jor. When, Sabby, we need you in the revolution. I'm trying to be there when. People people were, let me say something really quick here. You know, some of the same people that were attacking those of us that marched for Medicare for all, some of the same people that were criticizing us on Twitter, telling us we were wasting our time, telling us it was stupid, all those kinds of things. Do you know some of those same people are saying the exact opposite with the squad protesting on the Capitol steps? They're like, yay, yay, this is great. This is wonderful. This is woohoo. You know why? Because it's being done through the Democratic Party. That's why. When people outside of those parties, when we try to put stuff together and we try to fight for change, they're against it because it's not done through the Democratic Party. They're still trying to do things through the Dems. After everything they have shown us, they're still trying to do it that way. Richie, thanks so much for the super chat. Justice Democrats endorse a Google employee for Congress in New York. Rana Abdelhamid, raising the alarms now. You guys just heard what Richie said? A Google employee. I'm telling you, dude. Hassan, they are going to allow the people to be evicted so that the banks and larger landlords can monopolize the housing market and control the housing market. Listen, let me tell you something. Once upon a time in 2008, there was a housing crisis. And I remember seeing all these people, a lot of Black people, a lot of elderly people lose their homes because Obama chose to bail out Wall Street instead of the American people. It's 2021, and I'm asking myself, how did we get back here again? How is this already happening twice? How are all these people about to be evicted and homeless? Millions of people, you guys. Millions of people. How does this continue to happen in the wealthiest country in the world? Trez, Oakland gonna be a S show, and Barbara Lee is just chilling. Where are these representatives? Where are these representatives that live in these cities where all these people are about to be evicted? I mean, hell, Jeffrey Katzenberg just basically made it so that now being homeless in Los Angeles is a crime. So, can you imagine what's going to happen if all those people in LA are evicted? That will add to the homeless population, and now it's a crime. It's now a crime to be homeless. Anna Kasparian actually approves of that, by the way. She said the homeless people in LA are a problem. How prudish of her. And I'm assuming, of course, she would back it, right? Because Jeffrey Katzenberg gave all that money to TYT. So when people say that money doesn't affect people, when they say it's not going to affect the way that they deliver their content and their information, that is not true. Meg, we've all been slipped crazy pills. Dude, I'm telling you, James Root, you cannot make this stuff up. No, you can't. Like, honestly, I feel like the past couple of years in this country have been like one big movie. It's been like a 5 hour Twilight Zone movie. And I reference the Twilight Zone a lot because I love that show, you guys. It's not everybody's thing, but I love it. I think I've seen almost every episode of Twilight Zone. Les Albro. Yes, the squad is going to run and hide from basic questions while millions are thrown out on the streets. So I guess they did something. Mm. Mm. Do you guys understand like what's going to happen here? Because we don't have homeless shelters big enough to house all those people that are going to be evicted. We don't have it. We don't have the space. And yet in most of these cities, we have enough homes for everyone. Joy, I wish Franco or Max could sneak on Martha's Vineyard to chat to Obama's shindig. Oh, he's always at the vineyard, man. Always at the vineyard. JM, be the mutual aid. Do you guys see that now, even so more, it is very important that we do a general strike? This is what I was trying to tell you guys. The government's not going to help us. Well, the federal government not trying to help us. They saying, oh, well, you're out, you're evicted. Millions and millions of people. The corporations aren't trying to help us. Jeff Bezos, if Jeff Bezos really wanted to be a freaking hero, you really want to be a hero and save people? Why don't you take some of that money that you have that you are never going to be able to spend in your lifetime to begin with anyway? Why don't you take some of that money and help this problem? That would be a noble thing to do. I don't really care about you going to space. We don't need help in space. We need help right here on Earth. We need help right here in the United States when all these people are about to be evicted. So I don't care that he got in a rocket and went to freaking space. Thanks for the super chat to Culturation. Anna uses Michael Brooks, who grew up poor, name anytime she hit from the left, and now she's propagating attacks against the unhoused. Yeah, what the hell? I don't know how people can still watch TYT, man. I don't know how you can still, if you giving money to TY, I don't know how you can still do this, man. These people, Anna Kasparian's freaking millionaire. The homeless people are a problem. It's the homeless people. God forbid. God forbid we see these homeless people. She's become one of those. Delivering right-wing talking points now. Not even left. You're not left. Just stop. I saw a question about the Twilight Zone, so I'm trying to find it. I think I lost it. I lost the Twilight Zone one. Balls. Neymar, LA can only shelter 39% of their homeless population. Where are all these people supposed to go, you guys? I bet you people in other countries, they're probably looking at us and they're like, what the hell? Whatever, man. Rod Sterling, yo. Yes, Rod Sterling. He was way ahead of his time, whatever, man. He was way ahead of his time. If you go back and you watch some of the Twilight Zone episodes, you'll see, like, you'll think about other movies and shows that you've seen today, and you'll think, oh my God, they got that from the Twilight Zone. It was way ahead of his time. Greg, I'm hearing a lot of what about the landlords arguments, and I feel like the landlords should be punching up and going after the mortgage banks instead of tenants. What do you guys think about that? That's a good point. I've heard people say that too. People are like, man, screw this. You know, the landlords have to pay their bills. I've heard people make that argument too. And I get it. It's a losing situation. It's a losing situation for the tenants, and it's a losing situation for the landlords. And I'm going to tell you how. The tenants lose because if they're evicted, they have nowhere to live. Now, some people say that that's good for the landlords because they don't have people living there that can't pay, and the landlord still has to pay for the property. But here's where this can be a problem. All those people get evicted, and now those landlords have all these empty apartments that they have to fill. What happens if they don't have enough people to fill all those apartments? Because a lot of people are still unemployed. A lot of people still looking for work. All those people that have been laid off. And then once the unemployment stops, how are you going to rent an apartment if you don't have a job? Your unemployment's done. So kicking all those people out, that doesn't necessarily mean that the landlords are now going to be able to make money. You still have to fill those spaces. My apartment building, like when I moved during COVID, my apartment building almost emptied out. And it did not, those apartments did not fill, which is unheard of in the Boston area, by the way. That is very much unheard of. We never have that problem, especially once we're getting to September, because all the students, all the college students, PhD students, if you want to be a landlord here, It used to be one of those things where that was known revenue, that was given revenue. You knew you were going to make money as a landlord because all the students and the professionals and come and live in the city and all that kind of stuff, right? But last year, all those apartments emptied out. They didn't have people to fill them. I missed a super chat. Almost said a soupy chat. I don't know what that's all about. Shout out from M. Miller. So glad for another lefty voice. Thank you so much. I am glad you found me. I don't know, you guys. Shout out to Lila. She's a Sabby Sabs member. She said 100. Yes, and I should tell you guys, you can become a member of my channel if you want. If you go into my channel now, you'll see a button that says join. You click that button and you get other perks that come with that as well. Eric said soupy chats are the best. You can also join my Discord group. Definitely hopping over there. I know some people have been trickling in. I am so thankful for Indie Left for setting that up for me because I went onto Discord and I was like, what the hell is this? And I'm pretty good with technology, but that one threw me for a loop. Let's see. Oh, we missed. Oh, Blueberry, I suggest you listen to the KKF podcast before you speculate on what happened. It was a joint discussion. Yeah, so all I know is the information that was sent to me. And I do not listen to their podcast because it is paywalled. And also, I don't really care for the talking points. But thanks for that. Let's see. I did miss one coming down this way. Hi, Dick. Thanks for the super chat. Hey, Sabby, just wanted to tell you that your show is great. I love your low-key incompetent style. Oh, there's a pie, a cupcake, and an actual birthday cake. Thank you so much. And I love all of those desserts, by the way. Oh, Neymar, all right. My favorite Twilight Zone episode is the reappearing hitchhiker and On Pursuit of the Woman. Yeah, that one's a really good one. I also like the one. So a lot of people don't know this, but like with William Shatner, a lot of people know about the episode with the Twilight Zone where he was on the plane and there was the creature on the outside of the plane. I think that's probably his most famous one. But there's another episode of William Shatner in the Twilight Zone where it's called Nick of Time. Yes. Where him and his wife or girlfriend, whoever she is at the time, they somehow are in a, I don't want to give too much away, but they're in a diner and they end up going back in time. It's really cool. I like that one too. And there's also the one, I don't want to bore you guys with Twilight Zone, but there's also the episode where there's this guy who hates people. And he said, God, I hate people. I hate noise. I just wish they would all just go away. And the next day he woke up and there was like nobody. He was the only person in New York City. It was really weird. Wynn said, Indie Left News, the omnipresent force of good. Yes, he's such a big help. Mossy, you said, I still feel that way about Discord. Really? It's just so many ins and outs with it. I'm like, what the heck? Valerie, I love the morality tales the Twilight Zone did. That one's a good one too. Oh, that's so cool. You guys like watch Twilight Zone. Man. Cryptician, happy birthday, Sabby. Oh, it's not my birthday. It's shoot, Diane's birthday. But thanks anyway. Really hope you enjoy your time with us in here today because we definitely enjoy spending it with you on these amazing streams. Thanks so much. I really do. This is like my favorite part of my day, you guys, like coming to jump on like my streams and stuff. Yeah, I have my job, my day job, but one day, hopefully, when I am no longer there, my goal is to eventually do this full time, but one day, hopefully, when I'm no longer there, I will tell you guys more in detail why the very concerning issues with higher education and why even someone like me who's really passionate about education does not want to work in higher ed anymore. One day I'll be able to tell you more details about that. I think I missed someone. Lila, you should do Twilight Zone reviews. Ooh, that's a good idea. I love it, man. You guys know July 1st. Wait, is it? No, 4th of July. No, balls. Oh, New Year's Eve. New Year's Eve into New Year's Day. They usually do a Twilight Zone marathon. But I used to watch it on Netflix. Meg, I want to do a panel about higher ed. Would love to have you on for that. Yay, Meg! I will do it. Certain things I can't talk about though. Some things I can't say just yet anyway. Shout out to Lila. She's a Sabby Sabs member. I'd watch it. Coolness, man. Jonathan, this is a good question. Do Scandinavian social democracies guarantee universal housing? That's a good question for anyone in the chat. If you know, I don't know the answer to that question. But that would be interesting. Yes, Hitflix said on Sci-Fi New Year's Eve day they play Twilight Zone. I watch it every year. Yep. I am not going to keep you guys too long. I already went over my time. I can never stay to 1 hour. I always tell people I'm like I'll just be an hour, but I realize I always go over that time. Um Oh, thank you, Microsoft Word technical support. It says Sabby is pretty cool. All right. Yeah, guys. So that is my take on Greg's Brew said Finland is working on it. I believe that is in response to Jonathan's question about universal housing in Scandinavian countries. Yeah, man. Meg, I know a lot of European countries have expansive public housing. Yeah. We have Denmark on here. Shout out to Inquisitive Dreamer. So who's on this indie news is the best list? Oh, Inquisitive Dreamer, are you on Twitter? Because if you follow Indie Left on Twitter, you'll see like every week they put out they rank like the different like videos, also articles from Indie News. So I definitely recommend following them on Twitter, and you can see that. They have a Substack too. Dalt Calm, Sabby Sabs, how do you think Jordan Peele's new Twilight Zone compared to the classic? Personally, I think Peele's was underrated. I have not seen it. And it's one of those things I hesitate watching it because I'm really like skeptical of like remakes. I'm really like those. I want to go in with an open mind, and it's hard for me to do that when I watch something that I know is like a remake or a retelling or um maybe one day I'll check it out. Maybe one day. But I did like his movies. Dude, that movie Us by Jordan Peele, oh my god. That movie scared me. Like when I got home that night, I was like, I don't want I was like, leave the lights on. Leave the lights on. All right, cool. All right, guys. So yes, that's pretty much my take on that. And I know sometimes people are like, you're too harsh on the squad, you're too critical of them. And maybe I am too harsh sometimes, but it's just, I'm sorry. Like when you run on something and you're supposed to be part of like a movement and you preach to us that you're going to be the ones that come in more aggressively and fight for these things. And then we see you get there and every chance that you have to do it, you choose not to, or you choose to vote present, which is interesting because I remember people made fun of Tulsi Gabbard for doing that. So I just, it's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking for me. And so I still think people should ask for their money. I want a refund. I want a refund. Yes, indeed. But I am not going to keep you guys too much longer. I just realized the time. And I just want to say thanks so much for tuning in, you guys. And for everyone that was new, welcome. Hello. I'm so glad you guys found me. And some of the things that people have been doing that are new, they'll actually leave a comment in the chat letting me know like how they found me. That's actually been really, really helpful because for the longest time, I didn't know how people were finding me, you know? So thank you so much, guys. And all I have to say before I let you go is have a good night and keep up the fight.